Oh, I got to move my mic over here. I hope somebody is going to come and join me. Hey, Sarah, thank you for being here. Cheers. I have my Angry Orchard. I just put on lipstick. I can't stand for my lips to feel dry. I don't know if you're ever like that. I just can't stand it. So I brought with me, I got this from my dentist when I went. So I always have to have something on my lips. Then I brought my lipstick that I always wear, which is, it's a Maybelline lipstick. It's supposed to be like good on any skin color. So I was like, I'll try it. So I did. And there it is. But tonight, this is the pre-show because we're not to, the main event, which is my boy Grant. This is the pre-show. Something else I wanted to share with you that I got this week. It finally arrived. Everything that I ordered last week because of the hashtag Texas winter storm, nothing could get here. So I finally got my latest purchase from ColourPop. I don't want that to blind you. Oh, that got a little bit, but there you go. There's the palette I got, and I have that on. What is it called? Cloud Spun. Oh, I didn't even notice the names are on the back. Isn't that lovely? Well, anyway, I liked it, so I got it. So there you go. But I wanted to share, I always have to mess with my bra. I don't know if you have that problem. I do. Maybe it's because I have a small, country on my chest here. In other words, I've got huge boobs. What can I say? So I don't know if you've seen any of my Enagic videos or not, which they do not get the views. I mean, the one I put out yesterday, it's like, I don't even know if anybody knows that it's around. It's just amazing how sometimes some things get views and other things don't. Hey there, how you doing? What do I call you, Bigly? I don't know what to call you. Just some Bigly. I'm glad you like the palette. Yeah, it's really pretty. And here's on my eyes. This is from this morning. So if it looks, if it's got wonky, what can I say? It's been since early this morning, and I'm not going to go and freshen up all of my makeup to come here, drink Angry Orchard, and, dramatic read Grant Cardone. That just is not happening. Maybe somebody else goes to all that bother. I don't. I'm just not, because I can't. So one of the things, these brobots, because they have a bazillion different landing pages and have all the people doing the same thing. And when I originally started doing stuff on Enagic back in 2019, I got all of the emails sent to me because I don't even know who I signed up some crap from so I could get it. And I guess I deleted all of those. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see what they say, because this guy that I interviewed who had been part of the dream team said how many, grammatical errors there were on it and stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. And so I have one of their emails, and I'm going to kind of do a dramatic reading of their emails. And then I thought we'd look a little bit about, Grant's background. Again, this is the pre-show. I haven't gotten to, the main event. So let's see. All right. I guess I can move over there. I'll be fancy, and I will even, where in the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay. Do you guys have any idea why I started going live, trying to do it every Friday night? Is anybody, raise your hand if you know. I don't like that this is, oh, that's the wrong way. Oh, I got a chair there. Oh, well, screw it. We're just relaxing, right? I hope you're having a beverage of choice. Because my husband works, and I'm like, after all week, it's like I want to do something besides just, I love my dogs and all, and I could, go curl up somewhere, but I thought, it'd be fun just to come here and hang out, because I don't have to sit here and worry about editing anything, and if something comes out not right because I'm not following my script, and then I have to, all of that, I don't have to do any of that. So it's like, yay, I'll just hang here and, and just be who I am. All right, so I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to move this over here Do you guys talk to yourself like that? Because it's like, I feel like if I talk to myself, it's going to make it better. And now I can't find the little thing. Holy crap. Now I'm just, I got all mixed up. Why does this have to be so difficult? Y'all are probably seeing me where are all my different windows? Good gravy. I have so much stuff. Where did it go? Where's my StreamYard thing? There it is. Oh, okay. All right. Now I only have 2 there. All right. Okay. So I'm going to share screen 1. Share screen 1. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Hey, Lauren, how are you? Okay. All right. So you've seen that. All right. So this is from the Brobots. You're in. Can you believe you made it? Congrats on taking your first step to building your dream life. It's closer than you think. You probably already know this, but you've just received another email that will provide you the link to the workshop, because I can, watch their free webinar. Let me know in the comments, in the chat or whatever, and I'll get to that. If you would like me to screen record what that is, and I'll just play the audio, because they're so sensitive. They don't want to be, have their face shown, even though they're public figures, but they're sensitive. And I want to honor their sensitivity. So I'll just play the audio, and I could give my 2 cents about their bologna sandwiches that they're spewing all over the place. If the other email didn't land in your inbox, check your spam folder. It came from the same email address. Make sure to add this email address to your contacts so that you get our next email. Wow. This email is a simple reminder for 3 things. You're an action taker. And that's the thing that I remember when I first did all of this, is that action taker was used in everything. And I'm like, that is just so stupid. You've made a great choice by getting started with us. Connect with me on Facebook, and there's a link. And let me just tell you, this link, it doesn't even work. How is it you send something out and it doesn't work? How is it that you do that? That's how professional you are, that your crap doesn't work? Huh? Hey, yoga girl. Yes, we haven't gotten to the main event because I'm warming up, because I'm a performance artist. Oh, I cracked myself up. You guys, I'm not drunk, I swear. I mean, I barely had 2 sips of a stinking, Angry Orchard. So anyway, I'm collecting these emails to look at them, to see how well or how crappy they're written, and to see if things work. And I mean, first email out, your stinking link, it goes it's not found. Why? Hey, Marcus. It's I just can't believe that. I mean, if you're going to go to that much trouble to have, this email marketing string of BS that goes out, don't you want to make sure it's on point, and that, the crap that you put in there actually works? Because you're trying to show people how successful you are. I mean, are you going to take somebody serious when all their crap is janky like that? I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be but hey, what, we're dealing with people that really don't care about that. They just want your money. All right. So now I thought I'd share with you some stuff about the background of Mr. Grant Cardone. Hey, Joseph. Oh, I had dinner, Joseph. I cooked and everything. Rich came home, and I had to scoot him out because I was doing an interview. I was being interviewed for somebody's research in multi-level marketing. Hey there, Kareem. How are you doing? And my husband, I love him. You guys, he is so wonderful. But the dude will wait until the last stinking second. And I'm wanting to talk to him and I don't have time. And now I'm like, dude, you got 2 minutes. Because it's when my stuff starts, it starts. But he is slower than molasses on a cold winter's day. I mean, he just, he just kind of moseys about. And it will be so much nicer when we do move again. And I have I can close myself off. Because I mean, I'm in the middle of just the room, So I have no privacy, which is really annoying sometimes. And I love him. He's fabulous. But it's I just got to, it's okay, I'll just wait. And, you know, I always get going at a time like when he's coming home. So he came home, a split shifts, and we do this thing. We play a game. It's not really a game, but I get, and maybe sometime I'll share what I like. I am using Dinnerly right now to have like stuff shipped to us. And it's really for me because he eats so much different. And they don't put everything in bags for you, like separate it out into the different meals. And you have to like, and I don't have one over here. You print out the recipes. And so what we do is I get paper bags and I label all the paper bags of what meal it's going to be. And then, you know, I read and tell him what it is. And so that's, you know, we call it a game. So he came home so he could do that with me, because otherwise that stuff would still be sitting somewhere and not be put up. All right. So let's look at Mr. Grant Cardone. We're going to look at his background, and I'm going to share this screen so that I can do, I'm not going to cover you up and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It makes sense to me, you know. And after all, that matters because I'm trying to like manage this stuff, and I'm so very fancy, so very not. Okay, there he is. How do we look together? Are we a cute couple? Do we look good? Okay. Grant Cardone biography, age, height, weight, net worth. Full name, Grant Cardone. Nickname, Grant. Okay, how is it that your nickname is Grant when your first name is Grant? What is up with that? I mean, please. My nickname from my husband, and he has the same nickname from me, is Sweetie Pie. We call each other Sweetie Pie. And we're the Sweetie Pies. And we say that. You know, we've always wanted to have like a welcome mat that says the Sweetie Pies, but then it will change and it'll be like something else, like the Carters, and then it will change because sometimes we just, we'll say one word like hot, cold. So then we're the Parameciums. Can you imagine like if, you would have something that was ongoing, rolling, and it would have like different things on it on your welcome mat? I just think that would be funny. Anyway, he's working as entrepreneur. And why do you shouldn't have a period. It's one word there. Okay, I'm going to pick this apart because this is stuff that I do professionally. You don't put a period there. No, that looks wrong. Author, motivational speaker. Who wants to grow up and be a motivational speaker? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want to be. I mean, who said that just kills me. Anyway, real estate investor and sales trainer, and he's 60 years old. Okay, he was born in 1940. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay, which is, very close to where I am. So that explains a lot of things. All right. So he's an Aries. Religion, Christianity. Not true, Mr. Cardone, because you're a Scientologist. So why don't you be up front? That should be there. Current residence, Miami Beach, Florida. He ranked first on the 25 marketing influencers to watch named by Forbes in 2017. How did that happen? I mean, how is it that there are, like legit things out there that look at these guru types and just decide they're the bee's knees and we're going to just, worship them? Owner of the Cardone Group, Cardone Acquisitions, and Cardone Enterprises. Now, didn't he just lose his poop at the beginning of the pandemic because of, like his real estate investments and people aren't able to pay and stuff? Or is it just me? Is it just, oh my God, on Gary V? I was thinking about that, Lauren. Holy shit. I know. I don't have any books by, no, I do. I have Jab, Jab, Right Hook. I can totally do that. Totally do that. Okay, so what else? Hair color, grayish white. Father, Curtis Cardone. And Conchetta Cardone is his mother. He has a sibling. He has a twin, Gary Cardone. I wonder if Gary is as wackadoo as his brother. I really wonder that. Okay. All right. He went to LaGrange High School, McNeese State University. I looked that up. That's in Lake Charles. I had never heard of that university. And why is there a period after it? There should not be a period. This is driving me nuts. It should not have a period. That looks stupid. Love to do listening to music. What kind of music? I would like to know. Which, by the way, If you didn't know this, and I don't know the list, my husband showed it to me, but one of my husband's all-time favorite bands is the Pet Shop Boys. I love the Pet Shop Boys too. I think they're amazing, but their song Opportunities, apparently it was, and I've seen the commercial. If you've seen it, let me know if you have seen the commercial. It's it's for Geico or something. It's insurance of some sort. Maybe it's State Farm. I don't remember. Anyway, dude's driving down the road and the song Opportunities is on, and the little headpiece, the little girl at the front of the car, what, you know, those little ornament things, she starts singing it too. It's really super cute. So apparently now Opportunities is like #1 on some chart thing, and I don't know which one it is. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. But if you don't know the song Opportunities, you should. It's a fabulous song. You may know the song West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys. I think that was their #1 chart hit or something, but they have been making music forever. We have seen them, well, since I've been with my husband. We've gone and seen them in concert twice, and they are amazing. Just two guys, and just amazing. And let me tell you, Neil Tennant, he's the singer. His voice is as amazing in person as what you hear, you know, like recorded in studio. He's got such a great voice. Anyway, I digress. Did I show you my palette? Anyway, okay. Playing football and traveling, Italian food. Okay, you know what? Wait a minute. Your favorite dish is Italian food. Aren't you going to say like what you like? Like I might say fajitas, enchiladas, tamales, because I love me some Tex-Mex. I mean, a dish, or is like, oh, is this just a blanket all Italian food? Maybe it is. Maybe whatever. Okay. And then there he is, Mr. Grant Cardone. Now, something that irritates me. I know it's going to be shocking to you that I'm going to be irritated by something by one of these business gurus. If I mess up my lipstick, you're going to have to tell me. Because he has Cardone University. Oh, I have it pulled up over here because I did that. I thought I was going to be, yeah, I have it over here. Okay. Now, honestly, it's really hard for me to take somebody seriously, like I'm going to learn something when I see this. I mean, is it just me? I mean, learn what loans you qualify for. Learn the exact steps to access capital fast. You know, and at least identify whether or not you should take the money. These are written so poorly. Discover how to maximize your productivity from home. That, you know, something that would be more effective would be something like, list the seven ways to maximize productivity from home. Something like that. It tells you what you're going to be able to do, but they don't tell you any of that. It's all this, you know, it's all marketing talk. And that's what bothers me so much, since, you know, what I do is develop training and stuff. It bugs me just seeing this, of how horrible this is written. Okay, how to grow from 0 to 7 figures, get a step-by-step process to create wealth from nothing. You think that's possible? How about you tell me how many steps are in it to create wealth from nothing? I don't know. All of this stuff. Create your first, yeah, okay, you know what? And here's the thing. This is all one great big huge funnel, so that you can go to his, you know, 10X conference. That's what he really wants you to do. Or he wants you to, you know, like rent one of his condos or something. So here we go. I mean, all of this. And when I was a Beachbody Hunbot, yeah, big promises. When I was a Beachbody Hunbot, I thought Mr. Cardone was amazing. I thought all of these people, amazing. They just had it going on. They're really good at marketing themselves. You know, they've got a team doing this crap. You know, I mean, good for you, but all of them, in my opinion, and maybe it's just me, is that they all seem to be so very over the top with everything. And now that I'm like alert about multi-level marketing and all of that. When I see somebody who is so, over the top, it turns me off. I'm like, why do you have to be all like that? I mean, what is up with, can you be a real person? I don't find them relatable. I mean, I guess Gary Vee is trying to be relatable because he's like in a t-shirt and jeans, I don't know. And that whole, wine story, I don't know, that kind of bugs me these days. So are we ready, boys and girls, for me to do some dramatic reading for you? Are we ready? Was that a good intro? You know what? I thought about this. I think I need some bumper music, and I don't know where to get it for, my little Friday night live segment. I need some kind of funky little intro music. Don't you think that'd be kind of cool to have funky music playing and maybe a cool graphic? I don't know what, but I think that'd be kind of fun and cool. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen and yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're getting to the main event. The main event. Yes, okay. All right. All right. Okay. I'm going to read to you the back of this first because, I don't know about you, but myself, like if I go into a bookstore or something, I read the back of the book. I want to just give me the skinny on this. Okay. Just give me the skinny. Grant Cardone is a self-made entrepreneur who, with no money, no connections, and no fancy degrees, although he did graduate from a university, we don't know what he studied because that didn't tell us, founded and now operates privately held businesses that have sales of almost $100 million a year, real estate holdings just shy of $500 million, and has a personal net worth of 9 figures. Cardone is a New York Times best-selling author of 5 books and over a dozen best-selling business programs and webinars. Now, are people getting results with those things? Because wouldn't that be helpful to know how many people have bought them and what kind of results they got, and not looking at testimonials, because a testimonial doesn't tell you anything because anybody can make up a little story. Just saying. Cardone was also voted one of the top 5 CEOs in the world and is considered one of the top social media influencers on the internet today. In addition to his entrepreneurial commitments and family, he is highly active in philanthropic, there I got it, third time, activities, raising over $100 million last year for charities. And you know what? Good for you, Grant, that you're doing something good for other people. But the thing is that usually when you see these people who are like, look at these great, wonderful things that I'm doing. Have you not seen all of this? All these people I'm helping? Have you not? It's always kind of, I feel like they're still trying to pitch that it's all like kind of, disguising right in front of you that, look, would you just buy my Pope? I've got some Pope and I need someone to buy my Pope. Look at all these things I'm doing and I'm so good. Don't you want to buy my Pope? I don't know. Thank you. Yes. Who says he's top 5 CEOs? I don't know. It's just a statement. And on these things, you can say whatever you want. I could, put something down that I have, the number 1 voice in all of the US. And, I can't sing worth being. So that would be a bald-faced lie. I'll make my dogs howl. Okay. The Millionaire booklet. How to get super rich. Are you ready to get all the secrets? All the secrets. Because we're all going to be super rich just from this booklet. Huh. Okay. This was published. There's a copyright 2016. Okay. There's chapter 1. Getting rich is not a fantasy. Chapter 2, where you get your advice. Chapter 3, the millionaire decision. Chapter 4, Millionaire Math. Chapter 5, Increase Income. Chapter 6, Who's Got My Money? Chapter 7, Stay Broke. Chapter 8, Save to Invest. Don't save to save. Chapter 9, Multiple Flows of Income. Chapter 10, Repeat, Reinforce, and Hyper Focus. Oh, you want to know, Sarah? Okay, I am so glad you want to know. We all want to know. I mean, are you just like on the edge of your seat? Do you want me to read the preface? Should I read the preface to you? I mean, you know, we have a preface and an introduction. I think I will because, you know, why not? I'm getting comfortable. My back's bothering me. Okay, I call this my noodle, and I put this behind me so I can, oh, and it went flying off, so I can get more back support. So if you ever see that, like a weird blue thing, like in any of my videos, it's my noodle. Okay. I was inspired to write this book after attending a charity event. Oh, I'm drawn in. It was a Sunday night with a couple of hundred people showed up for dinner knowing they were going to be asked to give money. The target was $2 million. As I looked around to see who could actually pay, I thought the target was impossible. The room was filled with hard-working, super generous people who had already given much of their money, even borrowed money, and many were volunteering their time. Some had done all three. I could tell they all wanted to do more, but they were just tapped out. About 20% of the total was raised by 50 people. There was another $500,000 raised by 4 families, still leaving us $1 million short. The last million was donated by one guy, and the audience was thrilled and amazed. People were crying and proud we had achieved this final goal of funding this worthy project. And what's the project? Where were you? Why aren't you telling us? Because it just sounds like a story to me. As I looked around watching everyone celebrate, I realized there was not a person in the room who didn't want to be the guy who gave the last million. Oh, that line, the guy who gave the last million. Ooh, I'm titillated. I came home that night inspired and told my wife, I'm going to write a book to teach people how to become millionaires. And that night I wrote this book. The Millionaire Booklet was written without a ghostwriter, impressive words, or a bunch of economic facts. In fact, it was written in 2 hours. Forgive me in advance for its simplicity. I hope to make millionaires with this small booklet, not award-winning writers or economists. I'm not trying to impress you. When is Grant not trying to impress people? Okay, I digress. With how much I have accomplished in my life, or how much I know, the reality is what I have created financially in my life is very simple, and that is why it will work for you. I want to help you reach millionaire status, even get rich. If you believe that you deserve to be the person in the room that writes the check for $1 million, 10 million, or even 100 million, let's roll. You know, and I'm going to tell you this. Okay, something I'm working on right now, because you guys know I'm in Texas, right? Raise your hand if you know I'm in Texas. And last week we went through that horrible, you know, it got so flipping cold here. And my story of what happened to that I went through, it's going to be in an upcoming video. I'm doing a video. It's kind of about ERCOT. ERCOT is the nonprofit that oversees the electric grid here in Texas. Okay. And literally we were like 4 minutes from going total blackout. It's like really frightening. Anyway, there's a multi-level marketing connection. I mean, surprise, surprise. So what I'm doing is I'm giving kind of like the history of the deregulation. I mean, I'm not talking like I'm going into, great detail, but I'm giving that because it makes context. And I'm telling my story, and then I'm telling about one of the MLMs associated with Texas and electricity. And I'm doing a collab with the Antibot. She's also doing a piece of it. And I will talk a little bit, if you've seen about the outrageous electric bills, like 17,000, 5,000, 3,000 that people have received. And some of these people, I mean, they've gone in and just sucked money out of people's bank accounts. That's gritty. And you have an app, and you can watch it, and the rate changes and stuff. But I'm not really going into that. Antibot, I know, is looking at that. And then we're going to get together and talk about, yeah, and Lauren, I am talking a little bit about Enron in it, but not a lot, but a little bit, because I lived through it. I was here when all of that went down. But if you ever want me to do a video on just Enron, let me know, because I can do a story. I mean, I know people that work there and stuff. Okay, so I don't know where I was going with all that. It doesn't matter. All right, introduction. Are you ready? Introduction. Sarah, it's going to take a while. I mean, I don't know if I should do it in one great big long video, because it could be over an hour, and I don't want you guys to have like video fatigue. And it also might be one of those videos that, not a lot of people watch. I don't know. Well, I mean, Jen, it has to do with, I mean, like, I guess like sucking the money out. And it is really, it's like when you do the, what do you call it? Because I never do this. Electronic pay, where you sign that up and, it's an automatic payment and they just deduct it. I'm not comfortable with that. I want to have the control over when I'm sending the money. I mean, maybe I'm old school, but because people have this set up, that's what's happening. And, we didn't have electricity, so it's not like they could go and like turn it off or something. So it's just like a whole great big old mess. But also, Texas isn't the only place where there's variable rates. And that's the problem, is all these people had variable rates. Myself, and I say this in like my script as I'm writing it, myself, I just, I don't trust a variable rate, because August, it gets hotter than hell. And I don't want to see all of a sudden it's like auto pay. Thank you. Auto pay. Yes. Sometimes I just cannot think of it. Oh, you love the long formats. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Tiny. Sometimes I don't know if it's like, and you like shorter. So yeah, that's the whole thing, is some people like long, some people like short. So it's like, what do you do when you're a content creator? How do I find that happy medium? I mean, it's how long is too long and how short is too short. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So I guess what I will probably do is film the whole thing, see how long the entire thing is. And if it is like, over an hour, I'm going to have to chop it in two, because that just becomes, a lot to, I think, sit through. And then just like my editing self. And then it will take forever and 5 days for me to edit the sucker too, because those take a long time. Anyway, let me get back to the task at hand. Okay, you have all of them are fixed rate. See, so that's, and it's like I said, Texas isn't the only place with, variable. But again, I don't trust variable. I don't like that. I want something steady. And I've had the same utility company, oh my God, for years. Oh my gosh, Sarah, my husband and I, since we've been married, us trying to work out paying the bills, because he wants to take over and do it. But a lot of stuff is connected to my email, and he doesn't like getting into email. I mean, it's like, it's amazing anything gets paid. Somehow it does, but I don't know how sometimes. And every now and then I'm late on something, not because I'm trying to like be late and I don't have the money. It's like I forget about something, because I'm thinking, well, he wants to take over, so he's taking the bills, and then he hasn't done anything. So it just ends up being a big old cluster. Okay, back to the task at hand. I get off track. And I'm sorry if that was really loud in your ears. I apologize. Introduction. In the Millionaire booklet, How to Become Super Rich, I want to simplify the process of becoming a millionaire. And if you want, even super rich. This isn't some pie in the sky, out of the reach, big claim. I know it is attainable because I have used the information here and done it. I know with 100% certainty that anyone can do this, and even more if they do the work. Oh, good gravy. If they do the work, regardless of your current economic condition, where you live, or what you do, you can become wealthy. I also believe it's your responsibility to do so. Okay, what I was going to say earlier. So that script that I'm writing, as I'm writing my story, I mean, it's taken me longer than 2 hours just to write that part. So to think that, oh, I whipped this out, it's not that long, but still I whipped this out in 2 hours, do me. I don't buy that for a bit. No way. Even though it's very short. No, I don't. I mean, if you buy it, okay. I mean, raise your hand if you believe him. Do the hokey pokey if you don't. I think a bunch of you are going to be doing the hokey pokey, just saying. In case you don't know anything about my story, I'll reveal that when I was young, I made a commitment to creating wealth for myself. Since then, I have worked very hard and created generational wealth that is probably indestructible. Probably indestructible. How can you say that? How do you know? In what way? I don't know about all that. I say probably because I am not naive enough to underestimate the levels of economic manipulation and your manipulation of people and insanity present on this planet. Well, you are a Scientologist, so okay. While I made my commitment to get rich at 16, I was still broke at 25. Then I started studying the wealthy, using the principles of wealth creation and codifying what worked and didn't. It has been a long haul for me. I remember saving my first $10,000, then one day realizing it was $100,000. By the time I was in my early 30s, I had my first million set aside. Since then, I have built 5 companies that produce over 100 million a year in sales, created a net worth well over 100 million, and own an income-producing real estate portfolio worth over $400 million. You may be saying, good for you, Mr. Cardone, but can you actually show other people how to do what you do? While I can't guarantee you will have the kind of results I have, there are others duplicating the financial success I have created by employing these principles. Here are a few of them. Dale Carnegie was 54 years of age and had $56 to his name when he created over $10 million in net worth and a dependable monthly income using the 8 simple steps included here. Blah, 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 blah. What says Dale C? I'm presuming Dale Carnegie. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a different Dale. I don't know. Okay. So we're ready for chapter 1. Gotta wet my whistle. Okay. Chapter 1. Getting rich is not a fantasy. How to become a millionaire or multimillionaire or even hectamillionaire. 100 million units isn't taught in schools or colleges. In fact, most of society frowns on anyone who talks about getting rich. Some even protest against those who have created financial independence. The haters. I mean, is it just me, or does all this garbage sound very much like multi-level marketing? I mean, are you picking up that vibe, or is it me? I mean, let me know. I mean, I think it really sounds a lot like, multi-level marketing. My bra is driving me crazy. Multi-level marketing speak, It really does. But I guess Scientology is kind of multi-level marketing like. Different levels and stuff. I don't know. I hope you have an adult beverage or a different beverage of choice. I'm out of coffee and I'm really upset. I wish I had like a really good coffee right now. But instead, Angry Orchard. Bye, Joseph. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, and thank you. You're going to listen to the rest of it tomorrow. Thank you. Joseph is so super sweet, and he's one of my patrons, and he is always so supportive. I really appreciate it. And I hope your wife is doing well and everything, because I know that she's going through some things. So sleep well and all of that. Okay. It's a funny thing that schools teach you how to read and write, how to do math, how to know history and geography, and how to pass a test, but they never broach the subject of how to get rich. Getting super rich seems to be a topic reserved for fantasies, movies, and drunken what-if games. Most have come to believe that becoming a millionaire is for the lucky sperm club, business owners, gold diggers, lottery winners, athletes, rappers, and inventors, and scammers. I'm sorry, I had to input that one. Maybe he needs an editor. I bet Savvy could edit this. But it's not true. Millionaires and the super rich come from all walks of life. In fact, just to debunk one of the myths, I'll tell you that 4 out of 5 millionaires today work for someone else. Where did you fabricate this number? There's no sources. There's no sources. So you're going to say that and not back it up. You need to back it up, Mr. Man. Just saying, you need to back it up. The reason most people never get rich is that they never even consider it a possibility. They are convinced by those close to them to simply be satisfied with whatever their financial situation is. The other reason is that people fundamentally do not understand money. Very few people know how to get money, even fewer how to keep it, and almost no one knows how to multiply it. Just look around and you will see signs of this everywhere. Now, okay, is this supposed to make us feel guilty if we don't want to be a millionaire? I mean, honestly, I don't care about being a millionaire. I really don't. I mean, if that's what somebody bases their worth on, is all of that, I mean, okay. But to me, what's more important is living in a home filled with love and just having good people in my life. That's more important to me. He's like Rachel Hollis in a sense. I think you're right. Plagiarizing and making stuff up. Yeah. I mean, I smell some really, really rotten bologna sandwiches here. It's all a bunch of fabrication. Kind of like, what's his name? The Scientology dude. Crap. Can't think of him. The guy that like wrote all the books. Can't think of him. Somebody will think of him and tell me what his name is. I can't think of it. Okay. Even in one of the richest countries in the world, America, 76% of people live paycheck to paycheck. Some 50% of Americans have no money for retirement, and 47% of Americans don't have $400 for an emergency. Now, I will say, thank you, L. Ron Hubbard. Thank you, L. Ron Hubbard. Thank you. Yes. Okay. In the pandemic, I mean, we have seen people don't have, money set aside for emergencies. That's not a made up thing. But I mean, if you're going to put a number on it and you're going to give me percentages, back it up. I want to know what are you citing from? What are your sources? You know, I always try, and I'm not always, I forget sometimes when I do my deep dives and stuff, I put my sources in the course description, because in the course description, look, the video description. But if I write a course, I have sources for all of that, but it doesn't go in the facilitator guide and the learner guide because nobody would really care. Anyway, if these statistics were true in a poor country, it would be one thing, but America is considered a wealthy country. Very few people even know how to get money. Even fewer know how to keep it, and almost no one knows how to multiply it. Turn on the television or go online and you will see endless, ridiculous financial advice like what you're going to give us. Or is it me? Financial pundits and people like Grant Cardone suggest saving tricks where your path to wealth is finding the lowest price for a product or putting more air in your tires to save gas. This piece of advice always cracks me up. If you don't drink coffee out, you'll save another $700 a year. You can save $700 a year for the next 50 years and you won't be rich. You'll just be old. Okay, is there a problem for looking for a good deal? I mean, don't you guys look for deals? I mean, I don't buy everything on sale, and I'm sure you don't either. But if I'm looking for something, like right now, there's stuff that I'm looking for because when we move, there's stuff we're going to need for the boys. And I look around. Now, do I always go like, oh, I'm getting the lowest possible on whatever it is? No, I try to find value. I mean, isn't that wise to find value in what you buy? I mean, is it just me? I don't know. Another pundit preaches all debt is bad and that by avoiding debt, you'll somehow be financially free. Never borrow money under any circumstance the previously bankrupt advisor promotes. How do you know they are bankrupt? Who is this person? You're not citing your sources, dude. Just saying. He overlooks the reality that almost all the super rich have used debt to multiply their wealth. Flip the channel and you'll see fancy graphics like the ones you use, making a case that you should turn your money over to the boys on Wall Street who, smarter than you, will invest in stocks, bonds, and financial instruments they can't even explain. Ask your parents for money advice and they will recite their path. Get a good job, buy a house, contribute to your 401k, be grateful you have more than most, and pray everything goes right. I don't know. Why do they always vilify drinking coffee? I mean, it's like, isn't that weird? And along with that, Jen, why is it vilified to get a job, to work, to not live beyond your means? And, why is all of that so awful? We should just throw that all out the window. Is that what he's saying? That all of that is just terrible advice? I mean, I know a lot of people who have done just that and been perfectly fine, I also know people that didn't do anything like that and they weren't doing so good. How about you guys? Right. I have never wanted to just have enough. In fact, truth be known, I have always wanted to be rich. And see, this bothers me because to me, it just seems like very selfish. It's like, maybe I just have a different mindset, but like I said, my goal is not to be this super wealthy millionaire. I mean, if anything like that were to happen, to be like, hey, that's cool, but I'm not like sitting here just going like, that's what I have to do. It's just not that important to me. Yeah, if Jen doesn't show up to work, then Grant doesn't get power. I have never wanted to have, I just read that. Okay. While I do believe in prayer, I don't expect God to take care of my finances, and I certainly don't want to leave up to everything going right At a very young age, I noticed how the people who made the decisions and had the power of choice all seemed to be the people with money. Well, yeah, okay. I wanted to be one of them. I didn't want money for the sake of it. Bull! I didn't want money for the sake of it. Yes, you do. But to be able to have the power of choice. I think you wanted power, my man. I think you wanted power. I'm not either. Okay, I've never thought things like that either. Okay, never thought like things that either. It's foreign to me to think about yearning to be rich. Yeah, me too. And I mean, and again, I'm not judging anybody. If that's what you want, great. But don't feel like you have to make that like. Okay, I'm just going to say this. It's just like if somebody is religious, I'm not. I don't know if I'm atheist or agnostic. I'm something like maybe a mix of those things. If somebody is like religious, I mean, good for you, but don't force it on me. Same thing with this whole concept of being wealthy. Good for you if that's what you want, but don't feel like everybody else has to be that too. I mean, I just don't get it. Does anyone know? I don't know. I don't know if he's a millionaire. Well, there, Jennifer, it just showed up. There. Look, there you are. Ah. My noodle. Got to get my noodle in the. I don't know. I do wonder if the twin is. Okay, so where was it? Okay. At the age of 8. Okay, this kills me. This kills me. He wrote this stinking book in 2 hours. At the age of 8. Oh, please. One of my first experiences with money was walking to the local grocery store. I had a quarter in my pocket to spend at the store. I was excited and giddy, and I felt powerful. I was walking to the store with my brother, fondling my quarter, when I dropped it in the street and it rolled into a manhole. Tear. I got onto my hands and knees, only to discover my arms were too short to retrieve the quarter. I got up wet, dirty, angry, and wanting to cry. I remember going home and telling my father that I had lost my quarter. My father said to me, "You shouldn't play with money." My grandfather later grabbed me and said, "Son, the problem isn't simply that you lost the quarter. The problem is that it was your only quarter." Since that loss, I've been fascinated with the idea of amassing enough money so no single event or loss would ever cause me to be without. Right. A kid at 8 is like, oh, okay, this is really turning. You're 8 years old. What kind of gibberish is this? Exactly. This is so fictional. Now, I'll tell you guys a story of me going to the store. You want to hear my story? Well, you're going to hear it. So I must have been, let me see. Maybe 10 or 11, something like that. Anyway, at the time I was a campfire girl and I had campfire girl candy, and I took a friend of mine and we went to the grocery store. Like how you see Girl Scouts, out there selling cookies, but we had campfire girl candy. And this was, a while back. So, don't judge. Anyway, I don't know why I did this. Okay. But this is back in the day also when smoking really wasn't taboo. And for some reason I wanted cigarettes, and I took my candy money and I went inside the store and said I was buying cigarettes for my mom, and I bought a pack of cigarettes. And I think I tried to smoke them like behind the bayou. I think I went there with my friend and down at the bayou being all bad at, like these young little kids. I don't know even what happened to them. That's what I did. I mean, he was 8 years old. Come on. Even if anything happened. But I get tired of these stories about, when I was 4, when I was 12. You don't remember that, please. Okay. Chapter 2. Where you get your advice. Word of warning. For this to work, you need to start being very selective about where you get your advice. Okay. So we need to listen to Mr. Cardone because we're being selective. Tell someone you are reading a book about how to get super rich, and they will most likely tell you it's impossible. Just try it right now. Call a few friends, and I assure you at least one of them will say, really? The only person who is going to get rich is the guy who wrote the book. The only person who's going to get rich is the guy who keeps selling you these stinking courses as a business guru. That's how this stuff is set up. Just saying. You see, part of the problem is that most get financial advice from people who are struggling with or who have given up on money. Most of the advice we got about money is from people close to us. I never got any money advice. Did you guys get money advice? I don't remember getting money advice. Most of the advice we get about money is from people. Okay, I already said that. Either don't have money or have given up. Okay, I already said that too. Some of the people you get advice from have never even thought financial freedom possible. You must look beyond the dumb advice of family, television pundits, blogs, get-rich athletes, cute quotes on Instagram, and silly little sayings, and little books like this. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. These are the people you should study and model your financial journey on. Be very selective where you get your financial advice and never take advice from a quitter or a pretender. Isn't he kind of a poser? Is it just me? And okay, this whole like from a quitter, this goes back to like MLM about like, what if you quit, that's the only way you're going to lose. It feels so MLM-like to me. Is it just me, guys? Is it just me? There are many pretenders out there and even more who have simply quit on financial freedom. Oh my gosh. It's deep. And I don't mean deep thoughts. I mean deep bologna sandwiches, bucket of bologna sandwiches. I tell you this because where I got my advice early on was mostly from observing my surroundings. I organically learned from my immediate environment and adopted the philosophies of those closest to me. I grew up in middle class. My father worked very hard to create a middle class life for us, and this was a big accomplishment for them. Both my mother and father were both brought up poor. My dad made it into the middle class, and shortly afterward, he died at the young age of 52. Never take advice from a quitter or pretender. He has these little quotes, quoting self. 2 hours to write this book. My mother had no knowledge of money and was left with the responsibility to raise 5 kids on just a little bit of money from my father's life insurance. My mom was scared, even overwhelmed. Every day she was playing defense, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. I felt powerless. I couldn't help her, or so I thought. My mother's mantras were, waste nothing, turn off the lights, only use what you need, save everything, and be grateful. By the time I was 16, I was fed up watching my mother in a never-ending state of fear. One day I told her, I'm going to be rich someday, so I don't have to worry about money. When I do, I'm going to help a lot of people. My mother thought I was being an ungrateful brat, but I wasn't. I wasn't grateful because I hated how our life was. And as a result, I have spent the past 40 years trying to change that for myself and others. Do you really think he said that to his mother? It really sounds like he was smoking something when he wrote all of this. Getting rich is a taboo topic in our society. Go outside and tell someone, I'm going to become super rich, and they will think you are crazy. Get rich and then openly tell people, I am rich, and society will label you as a greedy, gluttonous, elitist pig. Oh, he just said everything that, well, I thought about him. That is a tough situation. Absolutely. Tell them you are poor and they will show you sympathy, but tell them you are rich and they will despise you. Now, who here just despises people because they're wealthy? I don't. Like where my husband works, he, like as the wine guy, there's a lot of extremely well-off people that eat where my husband works. And, and they bring in like amazing wine, or they order amazing wine off the wine menu. And my husband gets to try all that wine because I always offer it to him. And a lot of it he's already had anyway. But it's like, good for you, but we're not going like, oh, you rotten, horrible person because you got money. No, but I do think that there comes a point when, and I don't know what that point is exactly. Like, when is enough enough? How many yachts do you have to be that you're satisfied? Why is it that you have to keep on accumulating? I don't get that. Or if you have all that money, why not give more of it back? Because I don't know how much he gives back. Maybe he gives a lot back. I have a feeling he's paying a lot of money to do those Scientology courses. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. The truth is, getting rich, even super rich, shouldn't be taboo. It should be your battle cry. Last year, I helped raise more than $100 million for charities. Good for you, Grant. I remember a time when I couldn't lend you $1. I was so broke. Do you really think he, raised all of that? I mean, if he did, great. I don't know what those charities are. Getting rich is not only possible, it is vital to your survival and your ability to help those you love. We live on an economic planet. Every day, every one of us is confronted with money requirements and limitations, from shopping at the grocery store to feeding yourself, to taking care of your kids and parents, to funding yourself through old age, to taking care of unexpected setbacks. Getting rich, even super rich, shouldn't be taboo. It should be your battle cry. Hey, I was sitting going, I think. True Crime Curator. Hey there, how are you doing? Thanks for popping on. The entire subject of money is greatly misunderstood. What is money? Where did it come from? Who decides its worth? What is enough? How do I invest it? When do I have enough to invest? Hell, most people don't even know what they pay in taxes. Most people have more money saved when they are under the age of 10 than when they get out of college. How do you know that? Hey, AJ, how you doing? Oh, I definitely think he does fit. Mr. Cardone, I do think he does fit a narcissist. I do. I think probably so. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I think probably so. These fake business gurus. It's crazy when you think about it. How can a kid who knows nothing about money have more money than an adult with a degree? Well, gee, because you're a kid and you don't have like all the expenses, and never mind. The reality is most of us have incorrect knowledge about money from our upbringing. Oh my God. This just sounds like all the other BS money books. It's like they all regurgitate and say the exact same thing. You're stuck with their ideas. The simplicity of money and economics is not nearly as complicated as the schools, universities, economists, and financial channels make it out to be. Money, economics, and amassing financial freedom is actually very simple. For instance, anyone who tells you that money won't make you happy never had enough money to know whether it would or wouldn't. This idea was born from those who tried to make sense of why they don't have money. People justified and tried to make sense of their condition in life. For example, my mother clipped coupons as though her life depended on it because that was her only play. She spent all of her time justifying those actions. I remember when she visited me in Beverly Hills, long after I had made it financially. We went grocery shopping together, and I told her, Mom, grab 6 of the artichokes. She said in a Southern accent, oh my God, son, I can buy those for $1 less back home. I told her, Mom, make it a dozen since I can't go broke $1 at a time. Okay, you know what? You sound like a jankhole. If I said something like that to my mother, I think, I think somebody would come up to me and just smack me, because that just seems so rude. Is it just me? It just seems so rude. But whatever. Mr. Cardone, you see, my mom will stuck. Oh, I can't read. It's not big enough for me. My mom was still stuck with the beliefs of the poor and middle class long after it mattered. That is what people do. They defend what they have done to survive and then get stuck in this lower poor condition. Now back to whether money will or will not make you happy. I can assure you money will not make you happy, nor will it make you unhappy. I have never been happy and unhappy. I have been broke and I have been very rich. They have nothing to do with one another, and whoever talks about them in the same conversation is someone justifying why they don't have money. One additional note on this from personal experience: if you're going to be unhappy, be as rich as possible. Oh my God. Yep. That's exactly it. Yep. I mean, I'm good. Like we're doing well. And I'm not sitting here going like, I'm not scrimping, Are you guys doing okay? I mean, it's like, I don't have any complaints. And it seems like they want you to complain about your existence. And so if you are told by them that your existence sucks, then you're going to have to listen to them and buy more of their poop so that you can be just like them. But meanwhile, you're just buying more of their poop. Isn't he talking about them in the same conversation? I'm not sure of the context, AJ. Did I miss something? Okay. Financial freedom is 2 parts mental and 1 part mechanical. And you have to get your mental part right first. What I mean is that you probably need to lose your mind first, including many of the beliefs you were brought up with. For instance, getting rich is mostly a game of offense, not defense. Like my mother taught me, taking risk today is the way to eliminate risk. Wait, take it. Yeah, that's what it said. But you have to take risks at the right time. Your daddy's advice was to always play defense with money. To get rich, you have to learn to be on the offense most of the time, not defense. Wealth knows no age or sex, and it doesn't care about your story. It shows no sympathy and has no feelings. It listens to no God. There is no age too young or too old. Anyone can play the game. But you have to play the game of wealth on offense. If you're going to be unhappy, be as rich as possible. Another self-quote. These self-quotes, kind of annoying, just saying. To win at the game of money, you have to be on the field as an offensive player. Later, once you are way ahead in the game of money, you can play defense. If you want to get rich, you can't stay on defense or be a spectator, and you need to have a strategy. Okay, I'm just coming back to the whole thing of he said he wrote this crap in 2 hours. I don't think there's anyone here that's like, yeah, that's exactly what. I don't buy it for a minute. I don't even buy the fact that he wrote it, honestly. I think, paid a college kid to write it. All that being said, it has never been easier to get rich than it is today, and even more important, just last year, 500,000 households in America became millionaires. Are you ready to get rich? Where is this from? Where is this from? Sports analogies. What is up with that? I am one of those people who figured out how to create wealth. I have become a millionaire hundreds of times over. I'm going to tell you this to inspire you. You can do this. The wealth I have created was not because of my education. I totally wasted that. It was because of my connections. I destroyed them all. And it wasn't because I was lucky. I have never been one of those. I also didn't take a company public or create some cool invention or some fancy app. You hold in your hands information that will show you how to make and accumulate millions of dollars, even hundreds of millions of dollars. I would tell you this. Is that it? I would tell you this booklet could make you a billionaire, but I haven't done that yet. So I only make claims that I have done for myself and others. I only ask you to do 3 things. Keep this booklet in your possession until you become a millionaire. Share it with a friend. Here's the link. Once you get yours, help others do the same. Oh, we're finally getting to the steps. Chapter 3 starts with the steps, but my voice is going out. How long is this? I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish all of this. I mean, it's not that long, but, it's long to be reading. Because, what I have a problem with this, you take a long time to get to the point. On page 17, you finally start with the process. Why not start with, and I'm just making this up, there are 7 steps that will help you to become financially free. Why include all of this stuff about this fluffy stuff, this background junk? Is that making you buy it more? Are you connecting with him? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to read the millionaire decision. That's step 1. Because, we got to decide. And again, this sounds so much like multi-level marketing, because you got to decide. As I said earlier, the biggest mistake is to think becoming a millionaire is impossible. People simply don't think it could happen. So the first thing you have to do is decide to become a millionaire, multimillionaire, or billionaire if you want. You have to decide, and then you must reinforce that decision over and over. Put a stake in the ground right now. I'm going to be very, very rich. I will not judge you negatively for making this decision. When you tell someone who has created wealth that you want to get rich, they will not frown or judge you negatively. They will put you on the back and say something like, "Great, you can do it. By the way, you should." Those who have created wealth understand that creating financial freedom is a worthy adventure. It is possible for anyone. Is it possible for anyone? Remember, more than 80% of all millionaires today are self-made. What's called first generational, meaning they created their millions without inheriting the money. Okay. Where's this is all part of the step. If I wrote instructions like this, because I do write like step actions, job aids where there are steps, this is not a step. This is more fluff, just saying. Now, before this little automatic voice in your head says, for the millionth time, I don't want to be rich, or I just want enough to be happy, you should understand 2 points. 1, getting rich isn't just about you. And 2, limiting yourself financially invalidates your abilities. Most of us convinced to settle for basic necessities, clothes, a house, transportation, time off, maybe an upper management position, and some money in the bank. This is called the middle class. The middle class is for those who settle for just enough rather than striving for prosperity. The middle class life is a compromise and it's selfish. So now he's just putting everyone down. When you compromise your finances, you become unable to help others because you are struggling to simply take care of yourself. Boy, the other part of this is the constant invalidation of you. You are capable of way more than you know. So why set reasonable financial goals? For my entire life, I have had this constant gnawing in me, and that knows I can do more, achieve more, create more, give more, and help more. And I am most unhappy when I give up on that gnawing idea, and most happy when I am pursuing it. But enough of the esoteric and back to the material world. You can earn $80,000 a year or $400,000 a year and still struggle depending on where you live and your money. That a person born in a starving village in a third world country doesn't mean they are much better off. The argument is you have a cell phone, internet access, running water, and electricity. Be grateful. That's code for make sense of your situation. But not having enough money doesn't make sense, a man once told me. How do you make sense of insanity? The answer is you don't. And not having enough money is insane. The idea that someone would only need enough to be comfortable or adequately satisfied or have more than others as a way to justify his or her condition is ridiculous. The middle class is the billions of people convinced by politicians and media to turn your money over to those smarter than them, settle down in a nice house, reducing your ability to move for the next 30 years, and be a civil law abiding taxpayer who is grateful how much better off you have it than those who have less. Does he sound like a pompous ass, or is it just me? Make a decision right now to become a millionaire. Yep. And debunk all the ideas that idolize the mythology of the middle class. The temporary comfort provided by the house, nice school, a couple of BMWs, a 401k, and 2 weeks off is nothing compared to creating massive wealth. The first step to becoming a millionaire is to make a decision that requires you to lose your middle class mind and then get your millionaire mindset. You must lose your small, defensive, take no risk thinking. It has never been easier to get rich, but it is still impossible if you don't change your mind. All about your mindset. There is so much money in the world today and so many ways to create wealth, but it will not happen if you settle. Many will disagree with me on this, but I believe millionaire is today's new middle class. In fact, many millionaires still find themselves struggling. If you want to really get rich, you will need to 10x or 20x or even 100x of a million. Use my 10x planner. Hey, look, he's selling you something again. And start affirming your multimillionaire status every morning, every night, and anytime you have a setback. Oh my God. Really? So now you're going to journal on it and crap? Oh my God. Graham Stephen on YouTube is a millionaire, but he doesn't put anyone down for not being one. He gives financial advice in a respectable way that works for most people. We'll see. And that's one thing, because this just comes across as very, pompous. When you start to double the possibility, take out this little booklet and reread it, and trust me to help you get there. You don't need to trust yourself at this point. Simply put your trust in someone who has done it. When I first started studying wealthy people, I put my trust in them because I couldn't trust myself. So step 1, you could have just had one sentence. Decide you want to be a millionaire. That's it. Why did you go on with this other? Eat a bologna sandwich. Oh my gosh. So what do we think of Mr. Cardone? I don't know. It just seems like a whole bunch of words not saying much of anything. It doesn't seem like real practical, actionable advice. First step, make a decision. And if you don't make a decision, apparently you're some kind of big fat loser. That's what I keep getting from him. You know, it's like, I don't know. It just all feels very icky to me. Yeah, full of it. That's what I think. My voice is going out now, so I'm not going to be able to continue talking. Wow. But I certainly have enjoyed sharing Mr. Cardone's, at least, you know, a good chunk of this little booklet. I hope that you have enjoyed it too. Now I'm going to tell you some things that I do have coming up so that you are aware. Oh, okay, let's see. Because I have some things already made. It's shocking, but I was able to do that. And see, like this video, hardly anybody has seen it. If you have not watched my, what is the full title of this? Let me go and look. GAZ, or Affiliate Institute. It was Global Affiliate Zone, which is now labeled as Affiliate Institute. Another Enagic funnel like Darren and Mike, Antimlm. And it's, if you're not familiar with Enagic, it's a fancy water filtration thing. It's all very expensive. It originated in Japan, and I've done a whole bunch of different videos on this. Darren and Mike came into my bubble because somebody else actually found some stuff, and I started looking into it. And I mean, they got real upset. I barely had 1,000 subs, and they came at me with privacy, with copyright, with cease and desist. And I just continued making more videos, you know, I mean, what can I say? And so that more of that story is going to be in an upcoming video, because I have another one on the bro bots that I'm doing, because I have proof that they're lying to people. So I'm going to be sharing that. And I do want to know from you, he is full of poop. It's not the content and what you have. It's very, they think very hard about. Yes. Sorry, I got distracted there. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so right now out there is the GAZ and Affiliate, and it's not even gotten 400 views. So if you haven't watched it, watch it, please. I mean, you know, I spent a lot of time on it, researching this weird little thing. But they all have these training platforms, these people who are at like the top of Enagic, and they're all doing like the same thing over and over and over and over again. But I'm going to share with you how Darren and Mike are basically lying, and I'm going to show you some evidence on that. I also have coming out an interview that I did with Amber Nye. If you're not familiar with Amber, she is an anti-MLM person, so check out her channel. She is a former Beachbody coach like myself, and so that interview will be coming out. And then I have a 2-part on some breakaway movement training. Breakaway movement is also associated with Enagic. It's in Australia. Because I mean, these little things are everywhere with just different names, and then they're all interconnected. And so I go through and it's a lot of mindset stuff, law of attraction stuff. So you see that training, you see me respond to it. And then I'm working on the one that I told you about, ERCOT, and the whole, you know, the winter storm here, and the multi-level marketing company, one of them that's associated with it. And I will be doing that other Darren and Mike video too. And something that I'm working on now, for those of you who are patrons, I have like a pinned comment or pinned post or I pinned something in back there where you can go put things on a Google slide. Because for me, it was just easier with like a bunch of slides to just kind of organize things. What I'm doing now is I'm transferring all of that to Trello so I can move things around, and I can give people access to that who are my patrons to help me like with, you know, ideas for content. Now, one of the things that I do is, you know, I try to like, you know, have a plan, but then stuff like comes up. And when stuff comes up, I kind of go into that. That's what the whole ERCOT thing, came up because of the storm. And then you guys were like, yeah, we want to hear more about this. So, I'm making it. And I also have on the table that I am going to make probably a video dedicated to the whole car thing for Shanann Watts. Because there was somebody, and I swear, as I thought I explained this well. And I said something in my comment to them, like, I don't know how to make this clearer. And this person got like really offended. It's like, well, you didn't have to be all rude about it. And I wasn't trying to be an asshat. I was just like, basically, really, I didn't know what other words to use to describe this. So I think I'm going to do something exclusively on that so people can focus just on the car thing, because there's a lot of misconceptions from what I've seen in the true crime world, about Shanann's car. And if you're in the anti-MLM world, like most of you guys, we know how the car things work, because people still think that she was making like grand amounts of money. No. That was all the acting as if. Anyway, I am going to get down on the go take a shower, cuddle up with the pups, and, carry on with the rest of my night. I thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate it. And yeah, so let me know what you thought of Mr. Grant Cardone. Let me also know, I guess, in the comments after this publishes, because the chat will go away. Let me know if you would like me to do another dramatic reading. And if you have something you would like me to read, I might have it. I might not. I have a box of books of personal development from when I was a Beachbody coach. Most of it I've read. Some of it I haven't. Also, let me know, because the Brobots, I'm now getting their, email marketing sequence. If you'd like me to, for next Friday, I'm going to be getting email from them every day. I could go through and just share what all of that is. And we could look at how they're wording things and what it's saying. Let me know if that would be of interest to you. Hope that makes sense. I don't know. I watched it. So, oh my gosh. Yes. Lauren. Oh my God. There's so many of them connected to Canada. And also a lot of them are from the Philippines too. Now, Anagic, originated out of Japan. So I can see this Asian connection thing, but it's disturbing. And another one of my videos that hardly anybody has watched is Uno Premier. And that's about an MLM that originated in the Philippines. And now there's somebody that is in Nevada. And what are they going to do? The Filipino community that, comes here and settles, immigrants, they're going to, get them all wrapped up in it. It's just really, it's disgusting. Anyway, I am going to get down the go. I thank you so very much for being here. I hope you're safe wherever you are, that you are having a good day, a good evening, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you in my next video. If you have any ideas for a live stream, put it in the comments when the video publishes, because like I said, the chat's going to go away and all that stuff, because I would be interested in knowing if you like the live stream format. Let me know. If you would like me to do more live streams, let me know. And, and I'll see what I can work out. So have a good one, and I will see you next time. Remember, you are beautiful, and I love you. Bye.